Wait, don't move. Do you feel that? That pressure in the air, that electric, suffocating tension crawling under everyone's skin right now? Yeah, that's panic. It's everywhere. You can hear it in their voices, see it in their shaking hands, smell it in the way they rush, overthink, collapse, beg for control they never had. Everything is cracking, everything is loud, everything is falling apart. And then there's you, silent, still, unbothered. And that's what's scaring them, because you're not reacting the way a normal human should. You're not spiraling, you're not screaming, you're not begging for reassurance like the rest of them. No, you're watching, and they don't understand that. They can't understand that, because what they're feeling right now is what you've already survived. See, panic is new to them, but to you, panic is old news. You've already been dragged through chaos so deep, so suffocating, so relentless, that your nervous system doesn't even flinch anymore. What breaks them built you. What confuses them clarified you. What destroys them refined you. And now they're sitting there, whispering your name like it's a problem. Why are they so calm? Why aren't they reacting? What's wrong with them? Wrong? No. This is what happens when someone stops being just one thing. This is what happens when the line between light and dark snaps. Because you're not just calm, you're calculated. You're not just quiet, you're observing everything. You're not just strong, you're unpredictable. And that right there is what makes you dangerous. Because they don't know which version of you they're dealing with. The one who heals, or the one who ends things. The one who forgives, or the one who never forgets. The one who smiles, or the one who watches in silence and waits. You see, they were comfortable when you were simple, when you were readable, when your pain made you soft, emotional, easy to control. But something happened, didn't it? Something cracked inside you, not loudly, not dramatically, but permanently. And instead of collapsing, you adapted. You learned how to sit inside chaos without becoming it. You learned how to feel everything without showing anything. You learned how to turn pain into information. And now you don't react. You choose. That's the part they can't process, because panic comes from lack of control. And you've already accepted that control is an illusion. So while they're drowning, trying to fix everything, you're floating, watching, waiting, evolving. And that silence you're sitting in right now, that's not weakness. That's power compressing. That's a storm refusing to announce itself. That's a mind that no longer needs validation, noise, or approval to function. You've stepped into something they can't reach, a place where emotions don't control you anymore. They report to you. But here's the part they'll never say out loud. They're not just confused, they're afraid, because your calm doesn't feel human to them. It feels surgical, precise, like you've already run every possible outcome in your head, and none of them scare you anymore. And that terrifies people, because fear is how they measure others. Fear is how they predict behavior. Fear is how they maintain control. But you removed fear from the equation. So now you can't be predicted. You can't be manipulated. You can't be broken the same way twice. And when someone can't predict you, they start imagining the worst. That's why they're watching you more closely now. That's why your silence feels louder than their panic. Because in a world where everyone is screaming, the quiet one is the anomaly. And anomalies change everything. You're not calm because nothing is wrong. You're calm because you've seen worse. You're calm because you've already died in ways they haven't even experienced yet. You're calm because the version of you that used to panic didn't survive, and what replaced it doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't break the same way. You became something else, something in between, not fully light, not fully dark, not the hero, not the villain, but something far more dangerous, someone who understands both and chooses when to become either. That's why you don't react, because reactions are for people who haven't learned yet. You've learned too much. You've felt too much. You've lost too much. So now, you move differently. Slower, sharper, colder when needed, warmer when it matters, but never, ever predictable. Let them panic, let them spiral, let them try to figure you out. Because while they're busy reacting, you're evolving. While they're losing control, you're mastering it. While they're breaking, you're becoming something they won't recognize until it's too late. And the most terrifying part, you didn't become this way overnight. You were built, piece by piece, scar by scar, silence by silence, until one day, you just stopped reacting and started observing. And now you sit there in the middle of chaos with that same stillness, that same unreadable expression, that same controlled breathing while the world burns around you. And they keep asking the same question. Why aren't you breaking? But deep down, they already know the answer, because you already did, and what came back doesn't break the way they understand anymore. No, what came back learned something far more dangerous than strength. It learned control without emotion, and emotion without weakness. And that contradiction, that's what's haunting them, because now you don't explode, you decide, you don't react, you calculate, you don't collapse, you transform, and they can feel it. They can feel that something inside you doesn't follow the same rules anymore. It's subtle, but it's there, in the way you pause before speaking, in the way your eyes don't search for approval, in the way silence doesn't make you uncomfortable. It empowers you. That's what they don't realize. Silence is where you sharpen yourself. Silence is where you rebuild. Silence is where you become unpredictable. And unpredictability, that's power they can't defend against, because people don't fear strength. They adapt to strength. They study it. They prepare for it. But unpredictability, that's chaos with intelligence. That's danger with patience. That's a mind they can't map, a pattern they can't learn, a version of you they can't control. So now they're watching you differently, closely, suspiciously, because you're not giving them anything to hold on to. No emotional outbursts, no visible weakness, no desperation, just presence, just awareness, just that quiet, unsettling calm. And it's eating at them because they need you to react. They need you to prove you're still like them. They need to see you panic so they can feel normal again. But you won't give them that. Not anymore. Because you've already been to that place. That place where your chest felt like it was collapsing. Where your thoughts were racing so fast they started destroying you. Where every second felt like you were losing control of your own mind. You remember that. You remember what it felt like to break in silence while pretending you were okay. You remember smiling while everything inside you was burning. You remember begging, hoping, waiting for something, anything, to pull you out. But nothing did. No one came. No miracle saved you. No voice guided you. You crawled out of that darkness alone. And that's the moment everything changed, because when you realize no one is coming, you stop waiting. You stop expecting. You stop needing. And that's when something cold, something precise, something almost inhuman starts forming inside you. Not a lack of emotion, but a mastery over it. You didn't lose your feelings. You learned how to weaponize them. Pain became clarity. Anger became fuel. Silence became strategy. And now when chaos hits, you don't drown. You analyze the current. You don't panic. You observe who does. Because panic exposes people. It strips them down, reveals their limits, shows you who breaks first, who lies, who folds, who betrays. And while they're exposing everything, you're collecting everything. Information, patterns, weaknesses, opportunities. That's why you're quiet. Not because you don't feel, but because you feel everything. And you refuse to let it control you again. That version of you, the one who reacted instantly, the one who wore their heart openly, the one who trusted too easily, the one who broke loudly, that version didn't survive. You outgrew it. You evolved past it. You buried it. And what replaced it moves differently, thinks differently, feels but doesn't show it unless it serves a purpose. That's why they're uncomfortable, because you've become a paradox. You can be kind, but detached, cold, but aware, silent, but powerful. You can stand in the middle of emotional chaos and not get pulled into it. That's not normal. That's not something they can relate to. So they label it detached, different, strange. But what they're really saying is uncontrollable. And that's what this is really about. Control. They've lost it. Over their emotions, over their environment, over themselves. And now they're looking at you, someone who already lost everything once and rebuilt from nothing. And they don't understand how you're still standing. But you're not just standing. You're adapting, evolving in real time, becoming something sharper with every second they spend panicking. And here's the truth they'll never accept. You don't fear chaos anymore, because chaos is where you were born. Not literally, but psychologically, emotionally, mentally. You were shaped in instability, forged in uncertainty, raised in moments where nothing made sense. So now when the world starts shaking, you don't lose balance. You recognize the rhythm. And while they're trying to escape it, you're moving with it. That's the difference. They resist chaos. You use it. They collapse under pressure. You compress into something stronger. They look for safety. You become the threat they can't predict. And the longer you stay silent, the more powerful you become. Because silence builds tension. Silence creates questions. Silence makes people project their fears onto you. And once they start imagining what you're capable of, you don't even need to prove anything. They'll do it for you. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to be loud to be dangerous. You don't have to react to be in control. You don't have to break to prove you've survived. Because the real transformation, it doesn't scream. It doesn't announce itself. It sits quietly, watching, waiting, knowing that everything happening right now, everything that's breaking them, everything that's overwhelming them, is just another layer being added to you. Another evolution, another upgrade, another step further away from who you used to be, and closer to something they'll never fully understand. So let them panic, let them question you, let them whisper, Let them stare, because while they're trying to figure you out, you've already moved 10 steps ahead. And by the time they realize what you've become, it won't be fear you see in their eyes anymore. It'll be realization, the kind that hits too late, the kind that whispers one final truth. You were never calm because nothing was wrong. You were calm because nothing can shake you the same way again. And that realization, it doesn't comfort them, it unsettles them, because if nothing can shake you the same way again, then what exactly can? That question lingers in their mind like a slow poison. They start replaying your behavior, reanalyzing your silence, dissecting every pause, every glance, every word you didn't say. And the more they think about it, the worse it gets, because they realize something terrifying. You're not calm by accident. You're calm on purpose. That's when the fear deepens, because accidental calm can be broken, but intentional calm, that's discipline. That's control forged under pressure. That's something built in darkness, tested in chaos, and refined in isolation. That's not fragile. That's engineered. And engineered minds don't crack easily. They adapt. They reconfigure. They evolve mid-collapse. That's what you've become. An adaptive system in a collapsing world. While they freeze, you adjust. While they spiral, you recalibrate. While they scream, you listen. Because panic is loud. But truth hides in the quiet. And you've trained yourself to hear it. You've trained yourself to sit in discomfort without rushing to escape it. You've trained yourself to watch emotions rise, peak, and fall, without letting them hijack your decisions. That's rare, dangerously rare, because most people don't control their emotions. They're driven by them, pulled left, right, up, down, by fear, anger, insecurity, validation, pressure. But you stepped outside that loop. Now you see it. Now you recognize the patterns. Now you can predict behavior before it happens. And when you can predict people, you can outmaneuver them. That's why your silence isn't empty. It's loaded. Every second you say nothing, you're gathering, processing, positioning. It's not absence. It's preparation. And they can feel that something is building. They don't know what. They don't know when. They don't know how. But they feel it. That quiet tension around you, like the air before a storm breaks. And storms don't ask for permission. They arrive when they're ready, just like you. See, this is where duality fully reveals itself. Because inside you, there are two forces now. The one who once cared too much, and the one who learned to care strategically. The one who once trusted blindly, and the one who now trusts patterns, not words. The one who once broke under pressure, and the one who now uses pressure to sharpen itself. Both versions still exist, but they're not fighting anymore. They're aligned, integrated, weaponized. That's what evolution looks like. Not becoming someone new, but mastering every version you've ever been, even the broken one, especially the broken one, because that version taught you something no one else could. What it feels like to lose control completely. And once you've felt that, you never want to feel it again. So you built safeguards, mental discipline, emotional regulation, detached awareness. You built a system that doesn't collapse the same way twice. And now when chaos hits, you don't see danger first. You see data. You see patterns unfolding. You see reactions mapping themselves out. You see who's stable, who's weak, who's pretending, who's about to fold. And while they're caught inside the storm, you're studying it. That's the difference. They experience chaos. You analyze it. They get consumed by emotion. You extract information from it. And information, that's power. Real power. The kind that doesn't need noise. The kind that doesn't seek attention. The kind that doesn't announce itself. It just moves when necessary. That's why your silence feels heavier now. Because it's not passive, it's intentional. Every moment you choose not to react, you're reinforcing control. Every moment you refuse to panic, you're strengthening discipline. Every moment you observe instead of explode, you're evolving beyond them. And they feel the gap widening. They feel themselves losing the ability to relate to you. Because you're no longer operating from the same emotional baseline. You're not reacting from fear anymore. You're responding from awareness. That's a different level, a different frequency, and not everyone can reach it. That's why they try to pull you back, trigger you, provoke you, test you. Because if they can make you react, they can prove you're still like them, still predictable, still controllable. But every time you don't, every time you stay still, every time you just watch, you break that illusion further. You become more distant, more unreadable, more untouchable. And that distance, it's not isolation, it's elevation. You're seeing things from a higher level now. Patterns instead of moments, outcomes instead of impulses, truth instead of noise. That's what silence gave you, clarity. And clarity is dangerous, because once you see clearly, you can't go back to confusion. Once you understand people, you can't unsee their patterns. Once you master your emotions, you can't be controlled the same way again. That's why this version of you feels different. It's not just calm, it's aware, deeply aware of yourself, of others, of everything unfolding in real time. And awareness, that's the foundation of power. Not loud power, not aggressive power, but controlled, precise, undeniable power. The kind that doesn't need to prove itself, because it already knows. And that's where you are now. In that knowing, in that stillness, in that quiet, unshakable center, while everything else spirals around you. So let them keep asking questions. Let them keep doubting. Let them keep watching, because they're looking for cracks that don't exist anymore. They're searching for reactions you've outgrown. They're trying to understand a version of you that was built in a place they've never survived, and they won't get it. They can't get it, because this calm, it wasn't given, it was earned through pressure, through pain, through nights where everything inside you was falling apart and no one even noticed, through moments where you had every reason to break and still found a way to hold yourself together. That's where this comes from. Not comfort, not ease, but survival, refined into control. And now you sit there, quiet, focused, unmoved, while the world around you loses itself. And you don't need to explain it. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, because deep down, beneath all their noise, beneath all their panic, beneath all their confusion, they feel the truth. You didn't avoid the storm. You became something it can't destroy. And that's the punchline they'll never admit out loud, because while they're screaming, scrambling, begging for someone, anyone, to fix it, you're sitting there, silent, composed, untouchable. And silence, my friend, silence is louder than their chaos. They think it's emptiness. They think it's passivity. They think it's weakness. But you know better. Silence is control. Silence is power. Silence is the space where you decide who lives, who falls, and who doesn't even get a chance to rise again. You've become a paradox they can't solve. The calm in the storm, the predator in plain sight, the truth they're too scared to face. They panic because they feel their limits. You don't panic because you've already surpassed yours. You've stared into the void of yourself and smiled. You've felt the collapse of everything familiar and thrived. You've danced with chaos and learned its steps. And now, as they crumble around you, you're not just surviving, you're evolving, becoming sharper, stronger, darker, brighter, unstoppable. Let them panic, let them scream, let them fall, because you are the storm they will never predict, the silence they will never understand, the shadow and the light, the angel and the demon, the calm that consumes. And when they finally realize it, when their eyes catch the full scope of what you've become, it will be too late. Because by then, you won't just be standing, you'll be untouchable, unbreakable, unseen, yet everywhere. And the only thing they'll remember is that someone who looked so calm, held all the power. That's you, forever.